green, maybe.
Yeah, I think the farm one is good.
Callan always had some delays, but we didn't, when he was 6 months, we didn't go to autism. And I think I was just kind of going day by day and, oh, it'll come. But because Colleen was kind of in and out because of work, traveling a lot, I think she would come home and go, gosh, wow, why is he not responding to me?
The minute I found out that I thought maybe that I had the hunch that Callan might be on the spectrum, I went out and bought books and I started reading them front to back, and I was incorporating techniques, and I was trying to hold her accountable of doing the techniques, and we were trying to do whatever we could until he was able to get a diagnosis.
And so we went to the next appointment on August 7th and met with a doctor and spent some time just with Callan, and she did a really thorough evaluation, and she said yes, yes, he has autism. Again, we were so focused on Callan because it was more apparent with Callan than it was with Brennan, and then so in the beginning of Colleen's season in November, he was also diagnosed.
That early intervention piece is so important, that ABA, all the therapies that are available at such a young age when your brain is developing was going to be so critical.
We did have some issues with getting the right ABA, but then once we got with Crossroads, and I think that began in like December, end of November, his progress has really just continued to steamroll.
The importance of early intervention cannot be stressed enough. The earlier that we get kids into therapy and they have adequate numbers of hours, the more progress that we see with them. The earlier that we can get them in, the quicker they are catching up with their peers, and we're quickly closing that gap of the delay between themselves and their typical peers.
We've just approached everything as what's the best we can do for before kids, our partnership, and then once we had kids, what's the best thing for our children and our family? Because without all of those resources and a mother's hunch, basically.
And your time.
Yeah, and my time wouldn't be available though if she didn't have the job she had. She gets to be the head coach at UAlbany, and she does that primarily so she can provide this to our family. Obviously she has a passion for coaching and a passion for basketball, but it's mostly driven by what can I do for my family.
Crew and Lexi and excited. They are, yeah. Okay. You. We're gonna see double fists, we're gonna see 31. You're taking the ball out of bounds.
Thank goodness, UAlbany values women's sports and puts her in a financial position for me to be able to do this.
We were in a team meeting and I told the team that I wanted to share something personally with them. Taniya was a freshman, everybody's sitting around, and we finished up our meeting, and I just said to the team, I want to share something personally that's going on with me and my family, and I just said, my son Callan was diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder, and then we did a big group hug, and after we did the big group hug, this one comes up to me. And Taniya told me that she was on the spectrum and that she was diagnosed when she was a young kid, and and that it was going to be okay.
I was really diagnosed when I was 5, but my mom really didn't see the symptoms until I was about 6. And it was hard for me because I was so closed in. And when I realized, okay, I have autism, this is who I am, then I started playing basketball. It was just the moment I scored my first basket. And it was a magical moment for me because I'm like, I can accomplish things.
Every time I try to think about, project the future, or what will the future look like for my boys, I just think about Taniya, and I think about the hope that she's brought to my family. You never know what people are dealing with on a daily basis. You never know what's going on, whether it's somebody at the grocery store, that's struggling with a kid that's not cooperating, or a bad driver in New York City. You really don't know what people are experiencing in their lives, and to just choose to be kind.